Test my test.
Okay.
Good afternoon po to everyone. We'll just take siguro mga 4 more minutes just to wait for people to come in, and then we will begin at 3:05.
Okay, Father.
Okay po. I'm also live streaming this session through YouTube. So this is the link. So pwede po nating i-review ulit after this session. So, but at least the advantage of this is if you have questions, you could already ask it while we're doing this session. Once again, good afternoon po to everyone. The time is 3:03. We will begin by 3:05 p.m. So for everyone who might be having difficulties with the connection, I've also shared in the chat box, I will share it again, a YouTube link. So we are live streaming our session right now, so that we could review it later. And also for those who might have problems with their connectivity, they can connect through YouTube as well. Okay. Good afternoon po to everyone. I just want to make sure if my audio is audible. Can you just give me a thumbs up if you can hear me? Thank you po. Okay, great. So welcome again to all of you. We have well, we have visitors as well joining us. They're not exactly visitors, but they just want to um, learn as well in terms of how we could make use of online instructional tools. So we have Father Tony and Father Denny also joining us in this seminar. And I think some of those who weren't able to join us last time are also here. So welcome din po to everyone. So to start off, our online instructional tools session right now will focus specifically on content creation. And when we're talking about content creation, yung pinaka-focus pa ng content creation is in terms of how we could create videos that we could upload in our courseware. So to start off, I will be sharing my screen, and then hopefully it would be best if you could siguro divide your screen into two. And preferably I'm using kasi Google Chrome, no? So it might be best if you have Google Chrome, or if not, you can still use Safari. So either Chrome or Safari, I think will work for our purposes. Kung pwede po, if we could just divide our screen into half, no? Para on the one hand, you could follow what's happening here sa instruction, and then on the other hand, you could also work on it. So it will be like a workshop for us this afternoon. Okay. Saan ba yung aking ano? Okay, wait. Ayan. Sige. So I hope you're seeing the screen right now. Let's begin by basically using the first, tackling the first item in our session for today. As I mentioned in the email that I sent you, what we will do today will be first to create screencasts the easiest way. And then secondly, to create video lessons with multimedia using OBS. And then third, to make our own video lessons more interactive using H5P. So I don't know if you'll be able to cover everything, but certainly the first point parang we can cover in less than 10 minutes. Okay. So if your browsers are ready, when we're thinking of videos, usually you can either create what we would call a talking head. So yung talking head would be like this, no? So I guess the comm people would be more would know this already. And then we also have what we would call a screencast, wherein similar to this, you'd have the screen there, which could be a PowerPoint presentation, or in this case, a browser. And then you can have your face somewhere in that screen, explaining the PowerPoint presentation, or explaining, or halimbawa, parang modeling for students, parang what you'd want them to do in the screen. So these are the two types of videos that we will try to learn, no? Parang making that screencast, and at the same time making a talking head and slash parang screencast as well. So simulan po natin yung how to make a screencast, no? I think the best and easiest tool that we could use, and I'm very thankful because it's the grade school that actually shared this to me months ago. The tool that we could use is Loom. So if you have your website and you can type in loom.com, I'll type it in the chat box. Let me try to increase the size of this. Okay, sorry. So if you could type loom.com, as you can see, it's there. It will take you to this website, loom.com. And what we could do is to get an account first. If you don't have an account yet, the thing about Loom right now is because of COVID, they're offering an education account, which has the same features as its premium account. So ibig sabihin, you can record for a longer time, no? And basically all the other things that come with the premium account are made available through the education account. So to do that, kwan po muna tayo. Depending on your system, if you're on a Mac or a Windows or on a Windows platform, just click on Get Loom for free. And then best way to do that is to sign up with Google. So if you're using sign up with Google, just use your adu.edu account. So in this case, I can type in my own adu email. And then you could, sorry. And then of course you could put in your password there. So I'll just scroll through my password and then just click continue if you have your password. And then it will download basically Loom. Okay. And now kasi may account na po kasi ako dati, so kaya nakapasok na ako dito.
Father, excuse me.
Yes, right.
What should I download? Download app or install extension for Chrome?
Use download app na lang para you could actually work on it even without having to go online.
Okay, thank you.
So yung app po that you will download, if you can install that, it will look like this. Before I show you the website. Yan. Ito po yung itsura niya. Sorry. I will shift to this view. As you can see on the on my screen, parang there's a like a flower icon, parang red and white icon. Okay, so that's the Loom. This is the Loom application. Okay, so you will find it also if you're using a Mac, you will find as a mini icon parang on your ito sa topmost window. So it will look like this, no? And then kung meron yan, just click on sign in with Google again. And then put in the same user account that you used in order to register. So I will do that. I'll use my adu account. And then my password. My password. Okay. So once you are in, you will see that in your app, meron po siyang kanyang window. So let me just pause there for a while, no? And see kung if you're already in this part after you've installed the app. Can you just give me a thumbs up kung na-install yun yung app, then you've already signed in as well. Okay. Okay. Sige. So far, we have 2 participants right now na okay na sila. How about the others po? Parang are we having difficulties installing?
Father, mabagal ang unit ko ngayon.
Okay. Sige, right. Okay, so we're building, more and more people are able to sign in. So to make sure that you have already signed in into Loom, sana sa system po natin may lalabas po na ganito. No? Our app is open. Yung Loom app is open. Tapos if you click it, parang it will show the sub window on your desktop. So yung panel niya, you have video, then screen cam, screen only, or cam only. Okay. So as you can see in this video, merong ito po, there's a circle thingy here, which if you have a working webcam, you will actually see your face there. So this is, you can control this by just clicking on the icon. You can increase the size. Ang nakikita niyo po dito yung kasi nakakonect kasi yung screen ko to what I'm showing, so I cannot show you really yung if you will see what my webcam is seeing, mawawala kasi yung the presentation screen that I'm using. But anyway, so ito po, you have here, you can either maximize that like that. Click natin. Or okay. So ito parang this is the, let me shift. Okay po. So in this app, as you can see, parang there's this window. You should be seeing your face in this circular window, and you could increase the size or minimize the size depending on what you'd want it to look like. No? Now, para gamitin siya in terms of presentation, all you have to do is to open, halimbawa, a Keynote window or a Microsoft PowerPoint window. So in this case, I'll try to open my Keynote window. I'll try to open a file. Okay. So, and then I'll click back on the Loom, Loom na telecast, Loom na app, I mean. Tapos, what I can do to prepare it is I can actually adjust muna which webcam I'll be using. In this case, I'll try to use this, my webcam app. So you can see me here at the bottom. I'm here. And then you pick which microphone you're trying to use. So if you have a multi-device setup, minsan kailangan piliin mo. But the default is just internal microphone. So kapag meron na pong ganyan, what you can do is, so in this case, Zoom actually gives you time to set it up or click your presentation para mag full screen siya. So kunyari, kung gusto ko mag-record na ng aking PowerPoint presentation, all I have to do is, once this is ready, I click on start recording, like so. And then I will pick which monitor, kasi ngayon po I'm using 3 monitors. I'll pick the monitor containing the presentation that I'd like to use. Okay. And then, so it's starting to record. What I do now is just to play slideshow in window. So as you can see here, there's my face. And now parang I can deliver my lecture, no? So I could talk about my PowerPoint slide now. Tapos I could move it forward. And then I'll just keep on talking and talking, explaining the slides that I have already prepared. Okay. Once I'm done, for example, with my presentation, meron po kayong makita dyan na stop recording na button on the left side portion of the screen. Just click on that. And once you click on that, what will happen is that Loom will open a browser window and automatically saves what you've recorded. So dito po siya, i-redirect kayo niyan sa inyong browser. And then as you can see here is already the... What I do now is just to play slideshow in window. So ayan na po yung ni-record natin bago lang. And then what I can do is I could either copy the link if I want to upload that through Moodle, or I could just download it and save it para maging part na siya ng files that could be uploaded through Moodle. So dalawang ways, I could copy the link and then paste that in Moodle, or para may archive ka, just you can click on download and then it will be downloaded to your system. Ganun lang po kadali itong itong Loom. Okay. So as you can see, parang it will show the file name, and then all I have to do is to click save. And then now it's here. And if I open it, it will show me the slides presentation that I had recorded earlier. What I do, so kung kunyari, if you're using a Mac, you can edit it just by clicking, if you're opening it through QuickTime Player, click edit and then trim. And then all you can do is scroll it to the part where your presentation actually begins, and then click on trim. So now you have, and then I will save it, and then I'll save it, for example, as first lecture. And now it will save. So next time I want to retrieve it, it's here already, first lecture, which has been edited or quickly edited to just include the parts where I'm actually presenting. So if I play this, this is how it will look like. So as you can see here, there's my face. And now parang I can deliver my lecture. No? So I could talk about my PowerPoint slide now. Plus I could move it forward. And then I'll just keep on talking and talking, explaining. So yun po. Sige, maybe at this point, just to see and check what you've done, maybe I've placed there na people could share their screens. Parang if you want to show us parang what you've done, so that at least we'll get a sense of whether you were able to follow, or at least do parang a very brief example of a screencast. Please feel free po to use the share screen so that we could take a look at it.
Father, ito yung itsura.
Tingnan.
Ayan, nandito.
Okay, ayan. Okay. So, yeah. So when you click on record, it will record that window na Roy, tapos with your face there. So kung mag-demo ka.
Okay. Actually, ginagamit ko si Father is parang ganito rin, pero yung Filmora.
Okay. This one kasi parang if we use our adu.edu account, parang it gives us a free education account. Ngayon, may bagong term siya. You can deliver a lecture up to 45 minutes. Pero syempre, di ba, as we were mentioning, if we could keep our lectures very brief, that will help in terms of creating a more bite-sized na video lessons. So as you can see here are some samples that I have. This is my own 3-minute video. Basically, the anthropologist Ronald Lessen defines explaining a concept which I'm using in class. No? So all in all, parang it's just 3 minutes. So yun, parang we can do something like that. In other words, we don't really need to go beyond 45 minutes, especially if we're trying to pre-record our lectures in bite-sized pieces. Okay. Sige. Okay. Kumusta po? How are we doing with Loom so far? Okay. And any questions? So ito po, this is Loom is really the quickest way to, if you're used to delivering a lecture with a PowerPoint slide or with a PowerPoint presentation, this is the easiest way where you can get your face up there and at the same time parang have the screen being flashed contemporaneously. So the other way to do it is to use Zoom. If you have a Zoom account, no? Pero hindi siya katulad dito na parang merong bilog. Parang it will look like how you're presenting in a webinar. Ganun yung itsura if you use Zoom. No? So what I recommend really is itong Loom kasi it's easy to set up and it's very easy to set up and very easy to work with.
So Father, itong start streaming, ito hindi ko sa kiniklik ngayon eh. So that will lead us to either Facebook or what? Saan to pwede
yan yung OBS, we will talk about that.
Okay. Sige, Father.
Thank you. Sige po. Kumusta po yung how about the others? Okay.
So Father, hindi ito mabigat.
Yung Loom, hindi siya mabigat.
Especially pag ma-record na, hindi siya ganun kabigat. Kasi
hindi
mabigat kasi yung video editing kasi yung ginagamit ko, so medyo mabigat.
Hindi siya ganun kabigat itong Loom. Kasi pwede nga siya i-link yung link ang gamitin mismo when we embed it in Moodle.
Okay.
Tsaka later I will show another workflow para kung kunyari mamaya when we record through OBS para i-compress pa natin further yung ating video kasi later when we do OBS recording, typically parang kunyari 1 hour lecture, kung yan umabot ka 1 hour lecture, ilang gigabytes yun eh. And hindi yung kaya i-upload sa Moodle. That's why there's a workflow to compress that, to turn that 1 or 2 gigabytes into less than 100 MB, which can be uploaded now through Moodle.
Father, may tanong si Shercy.
Sige. Shers. Teka po. I've been using Screencast Matic. Okay. Okay. So, pwede mag-change yung shape ng camera. So for Loom, it's actually just using that circular window. Pero if you want that kind of customization, when we go to OBS, parang you could doon natin pwede i-change kung gusto mo triangle yung itsura mo or square or kwan. Yung OBS offers that kind of customization. Okay. How do you delete one from the library? Ito po. So let me share my screen again. Myung was asking how to delete a video file from his personal library. Okay. So if you go to personal library, if you mouse over one of the videos, you will see again yung tatlong dots. You click on that and you will see delete. So my contextual menu na maglabas, just click on delete. And that's how you delete recordings that you have made in Loom. Okay. Walay delete ako. Rename, archive, download, and duplicate lang. Okay. Okay. Siguro yung the reason why it was not yet deleted is baka hindi pa niya na-activate yung Edu na account yung. But typically you will find something like this if you want to delete it. So ulat lang baka it might ask for some verification later. But I'm using a .edu account. Tapos once that has been verified, you will see that option emerging from the contextual menu. Kung wala lang gihapon ta na to ugkon. Okay. So bigla. Josil, what do you mean bigla nag-record?
Naka-record ako kagad, Father.
Naka-record ka yan.
Yung dalawang mukha lang natin ang lumabas, pati yung chat box.
Yeah. So yun lang po yung Loom could be the quickest and easiest option, especially if you want to create a video with your explanation using a PowerPoint or ano.
Yeah.
Okay? Sige po.
Madali
And any other questions with Loom? So we could move to the next part.
Father, tanong ko lang, may requirements ba na specs for the unit na gamitin, especially medyo dami nang gagamitin?
Oo. Dito for Loom, I think meron yata siyang nakalagay dito na specs. Sorry. Yung nilagay kong specs kanina, that was for OBS na minimum specs. But dito, wala man siyang nilalagay masyado na we could check the help center tapos baka it might provide information in terms of minimum specifications.
Okay po.
Minimum system requirements pala. So ito po, as you can see in your in the screen, here's the minimum system requirements if you want to record using full HD. What I would recommend is instead of using full HD, usually what I do is I record in 720p instead of 1080p. Kasi mabigat masyado yung 1080p eh. And if you're uploading through Moodle, parang hindi naman niya kailangan talaga i-full size na so 720p seems to be, at least in my experience, ideal because it's fast enough and it's not that heavy when you're producing video content. So andito Roy yung yung specifications. Thank you. And any other questions po regarding the use of Loom?
Father,
yes, Jessie, hello.
I'm actually using Loom for all my recorded lectures.
Okay. Great.
I just like to share, Father, yung problem ko with Loom. Dapat malakas yung internet when you upload it on Loom. Kasi pag mahina ang internet, mag-hang siya, Father. And then eventually mag-upload man siya pero hindi mo ma-estimate. So baka mangyari is hindi siya ma-load and then you need it for a specific time for your class. So it happened to me twice. Nag-record talaga ako ulit. Pero I found out later na mag-upload naman din siya sa Loom. Kaya lang hindi mo ma-determine kung kailan siya mag-upload. So important kasi pag pakita naman po natin, 'di ba, yung internet is fast or slow when we start. So I think important din yun kasi yun talaga naging problema ko twice. Nag-record ako ulit.
Okay, thank you for sharing that tip, Jessie. Yeah, kasi ang kasi niya parang it's really based doon sa web na it needs to be uploaded. So I think we might need to parang anticipate that, no? So that's why for some who have good connections, parang this is easy, I'm sorry, parang I must have taken it for granted na okay yung connection dito sa Adu, no? Pero if you're having difficulties using Zoom because of connectivity issues, Yung the other ways by which we could record siguro might be a more viable alternative for you. Ang trade-off lang yan kasi very light ang Loom, pero pag nagamit na tayo ng OBS, medyo mas pro yung recording, pero medyo mas mabigat lang ng compared to using Loom.
Okay man siya,
Mag-depend talaga,
Father.
Father.
Yun talaga lang experience ko.
Mag-depend ngayon, Father, kasi currently medyo may problema ang connection ko ngayon.
Oo.
And dito sa email ko, email, syempre yung get started sa Loom. And click get started, so ginoo ko. Delete, basta mahinang ang connection ko ngayon, ewan ko ba kung bakit. No? So, yun, magde-depend din talaga sa connection, Father.
Okay. Okay, si Myong, sorry, Ryan has a solution to the problem which was posed by Myong earlier. Archive daw muna and then delete. And then now here's a feature question asked by Myong. How is the security feature of Loom? Now, actually, hindi ko alam ang kanyang security feature, Myong eh. I understand yung concern in terms of yung discussions, no? That's why kung natin, I mean, I could look it up later, no? Pero kung concern talaga is making sure that our lectures parang do not get scraped by other entities, ano talaga yung mag-record talaga tayo, OBS seems to be the way to go. Parang if you want your discussions to really be private lang, no, for for the students' consumption. So hindi ko alam. Yung akin kasi naka-post in public eh. So I don't know, maybe at some time they will just swoop down on me as well. Pero tayo, our discipline seem to be inclined to certain discussions that can get really heated. Okay. Sige po. With your permission, maybe we could proceed to the next part. So we've covered the first point, which is creating screencast the easy way using Loom. No? So the second agenda in our session is to create video lessons with multimedia using OBS. Now, yung paggamit po ng OBS might be intimidating for some in the beginning, but once we've learned the basics, parang it will fire up your creativity in terms of what you can do with your video. In fact, parang what I'm using right now, what you're seeing here sa Zoom ko is possible because I'm using OBS. So typically, for example, before we begin with OBS, I'll just show you examples of parang how I'm using it, for example, in my classes. No? Typically, when I begin my classes, parang I have something like this. So I have something like that, parang a scene where students parang are parang pag naghintay sila for the lecture to start, parang I have something like that. I can put in, for example, stuff like that, no? I can have multiple presentations like this or like this. And all of this is possible because I'm using OBS. So maybe we could start now with taking a look at OBS because I think many of us especially might want to introduce it to our co-faculty, parang just to expand their repertoire of tools that they can use for online teaching. So I asked in the email if we could download po yung OBS. OBS looks like this. I will just lipat ko yung aking OBS.
Ay, yung pinakita ko sa iyo kanina, Father.
Yes, yun yung OBS. All right. So as you can see here, parang if you've already saan ba pwede ma-download? Sorry. I'll show you again. So you can go to obsproject.com. pakita ko ulit na rin wala yung aking ano. I'll just show this. Okay. So as you can see in the screen, this is where you can download OBS Studio. So OBS means Open Broadcaster Software. This is actually what ICOM uses every time yung nag-live stream siya ng events, whether it's an online mass or parang all the other live online activities that we're doing. Ang ginagamit nila po yung OBS. So OBS is really a tool that's being used by yung mga nagsi-stream ng kanilang games online. Now, OBS, marami siyang mga versions. Yung isa, yung Streamlabs OBS, which is a more souped up version of OBS Studio. Pero yung pinaka-basic talaga na application is OBS Studio. So if you haven't downloaded it, you can download it if you have a Windows platform or if you have a Mac. Just choose which platform is suitable for you. So once you've downloaded it po, and when you open the window, it will look like this. Sorry, nakakuan kasi siya, nakafocus siya sa akin. So the window looks like this, and then if you go on studio mode, andyan po yung interface niya. It will show you on the right parang what others are showing, and then what others are seeing, and on the left parang what you can still prepare before you transition to the next scene. So just to guide you through this interface, yung OBS po can be used for if you want to go live, if you want to live stream, or if for our purposes, if you want to record a video. So once you have OBS, ang first po natin na tingnan muna ay yung ating settings. So if you go to the settings part, go to OBS and then preferences. Okay. We just have to make sure that our settings are correct. I won't focus for now doon sa paano pag-stream, but just on the recording settings that we need to use. So if you are already in the preferences window,
saan banda yung
ito po. I will okay. Sorry. I'm using kasi Roy, pwede po bang i-flash kung yung itsura nung
Ay, okay. Sige po.
Kasi
Okay, sige.
sorry, wala akong Windows na kwan ngayon eh.
Sige po, Father.
Ay, si Father Tony shared, it's in under File Preferences. Upper left, File. And then Settings pala dyan, Settings.
Yan, settings ayun pala.
Yan po.
Okay.
Yan, that's it. Okay. All right, thank you. So dito po sa File Settings, generally parang there's nothing much that you have to change here. But we just have to check pagdating dito po sa ating output. Yung sa output, if you go to the output part, just take a look at ito may nakalagay dito, output mode. So I would suggest that to just put it under itong simple output mode. Hindi ko po siya ma-adjust ngayon kasi ginagamit ko kasi siya. But yung dalawang settings niyan, meron siyang simple tsaka advanced. So I would suggest that we just go choose simple. Tapos in terms of settings, ang unang iset po natin yung itong video bitrate. What I'm using for my settings is 4350 kbps. Now, this setting is very important, especially if you are live streaming. Kasi pag maliit yon, parang hindi masyado mabilis yung pag-transfer ng video. Pag masyadong malaki naman, overkill naman siya, and parang in other words, it won't be ideal. Now, the settings that you have for streaming, pag nag-record na tayo ng video, ang piliin lang po natin ulit dito yung recording quality, same as stream. So if you take a look at the settings that I have here, for 350 kbps encoder, just use software. Okay, unless meron kang dedicated na graphics card. But for our purposes, just use software X264. Tapos audio bitrate 128, okay na yon, parang it's almost CD quality. And then sa recording, just pick where you will want your recordings to be saved. Nandyan po. And then the recording quality, ang nakalagay lang dapat same as stream. And then in terms of recording format, you can choose there what you want, the file that you want to be recording in. No? But I would suggest parang .mp4, or you could also use .mov. No? But ako, ang aking personal preference is using .mp4. So these are the only settings that you will need to tweak dito sa output settings ng preferences. Now, if you go to the ideal setting really depends on the connection, but in my own use, dito may tanong si Father Tony, ideal setting for video bitrate. Ito, for 350 kbps seems to work for me, at least if I'm streaming through YouTube, no, and if I'm recording a video. Now, the next thing po that we need to change in the settings is punta tayo dito sa video part. Okay. And this is where we need to adapt the resolution of the video to a format which is easy on the bandwidth. No? So, if you take a look at the video settings, you will see first dito sa taas, yung base canvas resolution. That actually refers to the screen that you are using right now. No? So typically, yung resolution ng screen mo will show up here. Now, the output scaled resolution is the resolution of the video that you would want to send, or that you would want as the output of your recording or your live stream. So what I do here is, in the output resolution, I scale it down from its original base resolution. I scale it down to 1280 by 720. Ito po yung sinasabi nating 720p. Now, if you have a very fast computer and if you have a very fast connection, you can leave it at 1280 times 1080. That's 1080p. Pero what I found in my experience is that 720p seems to be the sweet spot kasi it's sharp enough but it's not that heavy pagdating sa bandwidth. So if you can adjust that to 1280 by 720, and notice that aspect ratio, hindi talaga siya full HD, kaya ang full HD 1080p. But it's as I said, parang it's sharp enough, no, that if students would want to view something, parang they'll be able to read the text without it being pixelated. Now, the other thing that we need to adjust is itong downscale filter. Yung downscale filter is the algorithm that is used by the application to downscale yung original base resolution, o yung base or canvas resolution. So what I suggest here is, maraming nakalagay po dyan, may nakalagay bicubic, etc. etc. Ang piliin po natin yung Lanczos, 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 Sharpen Scaling 36 samples. Medyo technical siya, pero ito parang ina-assure niya na pag downscale niya, medyo malinis yung pagka-downscale niya from its original resolution to 720p na resolution. And then the next one is common FPS values. I would recommend for our purposes, 30 frames per second lang gamitin natin. Yung FPS means 30 frames per second. Usually, if you're a gamer, ang ginagamit nila 60 FPS. Pero pag gumamit po kasi tayo ng mas mataas na FPS, naglalag minsan yung video kapag hindi ganun kalakas yung ating hindi ganun ka-powerful yung ating computer at hindi ganun ka-bilis yung ating internet connection. So what I'd recommend here is 30 FPS. So right now, what I'm doing, the video that you're seeing right now actually uses this setting already. 720p ang kanyang resolution and then 30 FPS ang settings. Now, once you have that, just click on apply kung if it's if you can click on it, or you can just click on OK. Okay. Sige. So okay. Sige po. Okay. So I just want to check kasi Father Tony said here na medyo malabo daw yung yung text from my own output. Okay. The ideal output resolution read is 720p. So, Father Tony said na I cannot read the text from my own PC. I think part of what's affecting it is because we're using Zoom, tapos parang I'm live streaming as well. So, in other words, I'm consuming a lot of bandwidth. That's it. That's why it's affecting my resolution at this point. But typically, parang if you have that, and if you record a video with those settings, it will turn out okay. No? Hindi po siya ganito ka-blur, hindi siya ganito ka-blurred if you're seeing it because this is being affected by our internet connection at this point. Ganito na lang po, Fred. Balikan po natin because so if you could look at the resolution, it's 1280 by 720. Okay. Sorry, 1280 by 720. Sorry. Now, perhaps in some computers po, baka hindi niya kaya mag-abot nung itong itong ating output resolution na 1280 by 720. Another alternative to that is as long as ang aspect ratio niya 16 by 9, which means yung parang widescreen siya. Okay. We can actually pick another resolution that's a bit lower as long as it's a 16 by 9 na resolution. Dark ang preview and program. Okay. Dark pa ang preview and program. I-open nato na karon in a bit.
Yun sa plus Father, no? Sa baba.
Yan. Wala pa kasing nakalabas. Wala pa tayong So, sige.
Okay, Father.
So, to start off po with, ang key sa OBS is building what we call a scene. So, a scene is where you can arrange, A scene is where you can arrange elements. Makita po natin dito. Each scene basically allows me to build parang different permutations of how I would want something to look like, no? So in this case, sa aking klase, parang I have this scene, I have this scene, I have this scene, I have this scene, I have this, I have this. So dito po yung ito yung mag-change things. As you can see, I'm clicking, tapos that changes basically the scene that shows up on the other person's screen, no? Sorry, my question okay. Ade pa. From Josil, downscale filter by cubic, ana na siya daan. So I think parang to make it more optimal, we change that downscale filter using yung Langsos na 36 samples ang kanyang sampling instead of by cubic.
Nakaana na gud siya, Father, daan.
Ha?
Nakaana na siya daan sa settings, Father.
Nakaana na siya? Dili siya pwede ma-customize dito sa imo, ha?
Dili na, Father. Murag na, nakakuha na siya.
Okay.
Pati ang base, output, tama lang, base o output. Ang downscale filter lang yun. Kaya by cubic na siya daan.
Okay. Naay naka-press dito na naka-start na kuan kasi usually hindi natin siya ma-adjust kung kunyari may napindot tayo na either start recording or start streaming.
Ay, Father, i-record na ako imong tingog.
So, pag i-record mo,
okay.
Dito ma-adjust to siya.
Yes, Father.
Okay.
Actually, naka-record na ko sa imong kuan karon ay mga lecture sa OBS.
Okay. See. So anyway, this is available through YouTube as well.
Okay.
Father, you mentioned about scene. How do we add a scene? Kasi
Ayan,
add ako ng scene 1, scene 2.
We will go into that na Roy.
Okay.
I'm just answering muna yung questions here sa chat. So si Father Denny is asking, will decreasing the output resolution lessen the bandwidth requirement for the student? Yes. That's why we for streamers usually dinidecrease nila yung output resolution. So many are saying na 720, and in my experience 720 seems really a good blend between having that sharpness and at the same time yung low bandwidth requirement. Okay. Sige. So now what we will do is to start with yung the first part that we need to do to build a scene. No? So if you take a look at the menu sa taas po ng ating kuwan tayo dito ng you can create several scene collections, no? And it's ideal kasi depende po ito, halimbawa if you click on scene collection, you will see there new, duplicate, rename, remove, import, export. Now I use this workflow kasi sometimes for one class I already prepared a set of scenes, no? And then for another class meron din akong naka-prepare na different set of scenes, no? So this is a good way of organizing yung what you have prepared depending on the class that you would want to record for or to be streaming to, no? So unang gawin po natin, go to scene collection and click on new. And then put in the name of the scene collection there. Let's start with default. And then just click OK. Okay, baka mawala ako when I click default kasi ginagamit ko po yung OBS at this point. Ayan, nawala po ako kasi clinic ko yung default na naggawa ako ng bagong scene collection. Now, supposing I am in this default section, makikita nyo dito po sa lower portion ng inyong screen, you will see a box there which says scenes, and then sources, controls, audio mixer, and then probably my stats na nakalagay. All of it can be controlled dito sa pag tiningnan mo yung view. If you check this, if you go to docs, yan po nakalagay yung scenes, sources, audio mixer. Probably if you want, you can click on scene transitions as well, controls and stats. All of that correspond to the items that you can see here in this screen. So focus po tayo ngayon dun sa scenes. So currently empty pa yan, di ba? So ang kailangan natin, first natin is let's try to create a simple talking head na scene, no? Similar to this, no? Na parang ayan lang. So let's go back to OBS again. So what we'll do is click on the plus sign, andyan po, and then enter the name of the scene. So sabihin natin main talking head. And then click on OK. So meron na po tayong scene dyan na main talking head ang kanyang title. Now, the next thing that we need to do is, sorry. Okay. The next thing that we need to do is to insert sources para magkaroon ng laman yung scene. So from the scene, we have here insert sources. I click on the plus sign. And then ang piliin po natin una is video capture device. Okay. So if you click on video capture device, then you will notice na meron dyan. Usually, ilagay natin dyan kung kunyari, sabihin natin, write there the name of your webcam. So let's say webcam lagay ko. And then click OK. Okay. Now, it will show this screen which is the properties screen for the webcam source that we've created. So, i-click mo tong device, piliin nyo po kung saan dyan sa listahan yung inyong webcam. If you're using a Mac, usually nandyan yung FaceTime HD camera built-in.
Integrated camera.
O integrated camera po. So, kung may makita kang may lumalabas dyan na itsura.
Yes, of course.
That means that you've chosen it correctly. No?
Itsura ko, Father.
Ayan. So, ito po, sample ko. No? So, kasi dalawa yung nag-install ako ng external webcam. So, ngayon, ang pinili ko yung external webcam na ito. No? Logitech Brio. So, in terms of the preset, I would recommend ang gamitin natin, wag yung high kasi medyo burden yon sa ating computer, because that means it will take the maximum resolution of your webcam. No? Ang ginagamit ko lang po sa akin is, once again, 1280 by 720 ulit. So piliin lang po natin yung dito under preset. Piliin lang po natin. Now, depende ito sa quality po ng ating webcam. No? As you can see, if I pick a lower resolution, mas magiging maliit yung aking image. No? So, something like that. It's the typical box 640 by 480. No? Pero kung gamitin ko 960 by 540, 16 by 9 din siya, pero mas lower resolution.
1280 by 720, Father?
Opo, 1280 by 720.
Okay.
Pero Father, pwede rin i-drag na lang?
Sorry?
Or will it affect, Father? Kasi katulad niyan, i-try na kong drag, madrag man siya, Father, so mo fill in siya sa whole space. Okay lang yan? Drag lang?
Ako yun, kasi depende sa resolution mo, pag i-fill in mo siya sa whole space, pag maliit ang resolution, tapos i-full screen mo, magiging pixelated siya.
Pixelated, okay.
So typically, yung 7 to 820, medyo sweet spot na yan siya. Parang kahit na i-drag mo siya yung screen later, okay pa rin ang resolution niya. So in this case, di-click na natin ng okay. So magkakaroon na siya dito sa ito na yung first source doon sa screen na ginawa natin. No? Now, in order to adjust that, kung gusto mo gawing full screen, just click and drag to the edge. No? Pero minsan kasi hindi accurate yung pag-click and drag natin. Ang ginagawa ko is right-click and then transform and then fit to screen para katulad ganyan.
Okay.
Okay. So, pag ang pinili po natin lower resolution, pag nag-fit to screen tayo, magiging pixelated yung itsura nito. So yung 720, as I mentioned, parang is more than enough na to get a decent image without really taxing your system. Okay, so ito po yung first natin, no? Kunyari, gusto mo lang gumawa ng simple talking head na video pag gumagawa ka ng video for the overview to your modules, no? So all that I need to do is if I shift this, ito po yung makikita nyo sa screen nyo. Yan na yung sample, no? Kanina ito siya, no? So on the left side, ito yung hindi pa naka-load na screen. Ito yung sa right side, ito yung nakikita nyo, especially pag clinic po natin yung studio mode. So ang advantage ng studio mode is you can anticipate muna, you can prepare the screen before it's actually being seen by other people. Now to change that, i-click lang natin itong transition na screen. Yan. Ayan, nag-transition na po. If I click transition again, balik na naman siya doon sa dati. Or depende sa scene na gawin ko. So supposing I have this, yung default po niyan, naka-activate lagi yung microphone natin. No? Maybe at this point, if you're using an external microphone, parang I would be suggesting another settings. But for now, let's just use our default settings muna for the microphone. No? So that hindi tayo malito. So as you can see, dapat po may nakikita tayo dito sa audio mixer na may gumagalaw habang nagsasalita tayo. So ibig sabihin nare-record yung ating voice when we're talking, no? So halimbawa, at this point, you want to use this and you want to record your video already, no? So all we have to do is to make sure that this screen dito sa preparation na part is now the screen that is being shown dito sa output niya sa right side. Okay? And once we do that, all we have to do is really to click on start recording, no? So i-try po natin. Let's click on start recording and then basically just say something. So halimbawa, I'll try it and then I'll say, okay, hello, welcome to my vlog. Then I click stop recording. Now, naalala niyo po kanina doon sa ating settings, nakalagay po dito kung saan niya isi-save yung file. Look at output again. Now, doon sa recording path, doon niyo po mahanap kung nasaan yung ni-record na video. So in this case, if I were to look at this, I would go to that same path, no? Movies, and then ito po siya, yung ni-record ko lang recently. Ayan po. So that's the parang most basic thing that you could do if you want to record yourself using OBS, no? So okay, let the so far maybe I'll pause here muna parang and let you experiment and maybe parang elicit questions that you may have so far. Nawala ang audio monitor. Okay. Nar, pwede mo i-flash yung iyong pwede ka mag-screen share. Okay, Nar. Sige. So nawala yung iyong walang nakalagay din yung sa audio mixer, no? So click natin ulit doon sa balik tayo doon sa ating preferences, yung settings kanina. Yes. And then tingnan natin sa audio. So here nakalagay po. Nakalagay disabled. Okay? So naka-disable siya. So ibig sabihin imamano-mano yung paglagay ng microphone. So maybe I will show you parang how to kung naka-disable ang audio devices. I will show you parang how to do it, how to activate it manually. Sige na, I will demonstrate how to do it. Thank you. Sige po. So, for example, let's go back to talking head. Nandyan na po yung source na, sorry. Balik ako doon sa I'll just put myself on spotlight. Okay. Okay. Nar, pwede na ako i-kwan sa ang screen sharing, Nar. Okay, thank you. Okay. Now, if we okay. Now, so dito po currently yung webcam natin does not have any audio output. Although right now, parang as I said, I'm using OBS with the audio output already included. So what I need to do right now is adjust ko lang po. Click again on the plus sign dito sa sources. Make sure that you are in the scene that you would want to add audio to. Click on plus and then piliin po natin yung audio input source, audio input capture. So once we do that, lagay natin halimbawa microphone. And then click on OK. And then dito po hanapin natin kung nasaan yung microphone natin. Built-in microphone, etc. etc. So once you've chosen kung anong microphone gusto mong gamitin, kung kunyari meron kang external mic, pwede mo rin hanapin dito. But let's say, let's go with the default mic, built-in microphone. I will click OK. Notice, nandyan na po nakalagay yung microphone. Now, just to check kung nandyan ba talaga, I will shift to this scene, yung main talking scene. Hello, mic test. Can you hear me? Mic test. Okay. So, nag-work na po yung may lalabas po na ganito yung pangalan ng microphone nyo. And that means that pag nag-record kayo, it will also record the audio in your video. So i-try po natin at this point to record a short video clip of yourself with the video and this video together. Try po natin.
Father Oji.
Yes, Nar.
May appear na tong microphone pero wala pa tong mixer.
Okay. Pwede could you show the screen again, Nar? Okay. Okay. Kailangan i-click mo yung transition kasi nag-build tayo ng bago. Ang current na nasa program mo is yung program without the microphone that was added.
Asa din, Father?
Sa tunga. Middle, sa taas pa. Naadiha in between your video. Sa taas.
Sa pinakataas.
Yan, that one. Okay.
Click
so
na
click
po, Father.
Yes. Ayan. So, you can see yung microphone. So, yan na yung, kung mag-record ka, it will take into, it will already record your audio as well as your video. No? So, pag clinic mo start recording, so can you try na i-start recording mo?
Sige, Father. Click na po, sige.
Click mo. So, record ka ng
Okay. Sige. Audio, video ang gina-record niya karon, Father.
Audio, video ang iyong gina-record.
Okay,
And
stop.
then just stop recording. And then look for the file in your, doon sa path na nakalagay siya. Yeah. So, I'll just address some of the questions again. From Cersei, Father, it would say, failed to start recording. Your current video card driver does not support this NVENC version. Please update your drivers. Okay, Ashers, balik tayo ulit doon sa sa settings. As you can see doon sa settings, ang kailangan piliin doon sa video part, output part. Kasi pag naka-NVENC yan, parang ang napili sa encoder yung NVENC. Ang NVENC kasi needs an external graphics card. So, yun siya ang ginagamit ng mga gamers kaya kaya nila mag-stream ng sobrang bilis na refresh rate because they have a dedicated video card. Yun yung NVENC na tinatawag. So, for our purposes, pag typical setup lang, ang encoder should be software X264. So yun dapat ang settings niya, hindi NVENC na settings. I hope that will address yung the error that you are seeing dun sa failed to start recording. Okay, thank you. So Father Tony, na-record dun ba? So yeah. So ito po yung pinaka-basic, no? Talking head, no? Now, you might ask kanina, paano nagawa yung black na background, no? So, ang sa aking setup, nagkuha lang po ako ng tela from NCCC. Tela lang ito na green, na tig 35 pesos per meter. Ito yung drenape ko dito sa aking likod, no? Now, how do you create that setting na para mag-black screen na ito? No? So, ang gagawin po natin, if you go to your webcam, okay, and then click on filters. Okay. If you click on filters, nakalagay dyan effect filters, tsaka audio video filters. Dito tayo sa effect filters. Click on plus, and then click on, pag meron kang ganitong screen na green, no? Click on Chroma Key, and then click OK. So, ayan. Depende sa color ng tela sa likod mo, you can choose blue, magenta, or in this case, green ang pinili ko. And then I can make the adjustments here. Usually, ang gina-adjust ko itong similarity tsaka smoothness. No? So, kung tingnan po natin, kunyari i-load ko siya ngayon, notice na nawala na yung green background kasi nag-chroma key ako. So, tinanggal niya lahat ng green from the screen. No? And all you're seeing is me, basically. Pero nakita nyo medyo nagkwan-kwan pa to, parang may mga hazy outline. So to correct that, balik ulit dun sa webcam, click on filters, and then click on Chroma Key. Ang ginagawa ko is I just minimize the smoothness. And then click close. So notice, nawala na yung hazy part, no? But may outline na of my head, no. Pero medyo kwan siya, medyo rough siya na ano. So ang ano lang yan, parang laruin mo lang ano yung parang mas smooth tingnan, no. Siguro pag may buhok ako, parang mas maganda yung pagka ano. Kasi pag upaw ka, klaro masyado yung outline eh. Pero that's how you do it. Parang if you want to use yung Chroma Key. Yung Chroma Key kasi is very important, especially if you want to do something like this, no? Ito halimbawa, no? Ayan po. Yan, no? Nakita natin parang here I am, okay? And then here's the video that I'm presenting. Or kapag may Chroma Key, pwede na po natin ilagay kahit saan yung ating face, katulad dito ngayon, no? Nasa ilalim ako, no? Tapos yung just the outline of my face. So yung itim na yon can blend in any background that I have in the scene. Yun yung gamit po ng Chroma Key. Okay. Balik po ako dun sa ano. So far, ano po, any questions? Sorry. So, paano gawin ulit ang Chroma Key? I will demonstrate again the steps. Okay. So, if you go to the sources, nandun tayo sa scene, that yung main talking head na scene, go to your webcam, yung camera na inad natin, and then click on filters. Okay. I'll click on filters. And then sa filter, I will delete this muna. Dito sa effect filters, i-click po natin yung plus sign and then click on Chroma Key. And then click OK. And then voila, parang nawala na. So if you have a cloth there that's green or depending green or blue or magenta, pwede nyo po gamitin yung chroma screen. Now you can customize it further, no? Ideally green screen ang ginagamit, di ba? Pero ito, green screen na tig 35 pesos lang yung ginamit ko. And then I can adjust para mawala itong haziness sa ulo ko. I can adjust the smoothness para mas pronounce yung details of my outline. No? And then I click close. And then there you have it. No? Naka-chroma key na siya. Natanggal na yung background sa likod. Are we okay po tayo so far? Now, the next step, sige. Any questions po?
Paano pagbalik? Kasi daming lamok, paligid ko. Hindi kasi ako naka-green screen.
Paano pagbalik? Okay. Paano pagbalik is just to click once again on webcam, click on filters, and then we could deactivate it by just clicking on this. So, yung eye na icon, click on it to erase it. Or if you want to erase it completely, just click on the negative sign para mabura talaga siya. So, in this case, let's say sabihin ko, tanggalin ko lang muna yan. So, balik siya sa dati.
Okay.
Okay. So, ngayon at this point, no, okay, my question si Cersei, yung mga scenery ang background, Father, paano yon? Okay. Para magkaroon ng scenery sa background, kailangan po kasi meron tayo talagang parang katulad nito. Kino-chroma key kasi muna siya bago natin siya pwede lagyan ng background. No? So, kailangan talaga ng chroma key before we could insert another background. So halimbawa dito sa sample ko, I will just show you a sample. Dito halimbawa sa akin, as you can see, may MIP, ito yung sa class ko na background. This is actually just a JPEG file, no? Pero pwede ako maglagay niyan kasi chroma key ko muna yung sarili ko. So pwede ko siya actually ipalakihin. So I will show you a sample of how I can expand that. So katulad niyan, no? It's behind me, no? Pwede ko palitan yan with any image that I want. So parang katulad sa Zoom na virtual background, but this time it's highly customizable because if you're using OBS, you can play around with it. No? So balik ko siya.
Father Audrey, any plain tela?
Yes, to show you yung aking pakita ko ulit na ito po yung aking kuwan lang to, nag-adture ako sa so sorry, i-demo. Pakita ko lang.
Wala kay bayad sa NCCC, Father.
Ayan, amo lang akong gihimo diri Sorry.
Equal lang na, ihapin lang na siya.
Ihapin rin ako siya.
Ako medyo darker gamay Father. Darker gamay. Okay lang man basta
So,
green. Dapat imong sanina, imong suot dapat dili walay green.
Dapat dili pod green kay mawala man ka. Talking head na jud ka literally. So
Father, what about plain background? Like kani dili man ni plain akong background no kanang puti lang siya, dili jud siya pwede.
Okay. No? So kung puti, actually dili siya kayo ingana ka effective kay nganong green screen kay ang ingon nila na wala mo good tay green pigments sa atong skin, no? Pero kung white background base kaning mga naga-highlight sa atong ma-erase po na siya. No? So parang litan ang ngipon nato, pwede po ma-erase kay puti man atong background. So yung green provides that stark contrast between parang pigments that you can find in your body so that you can really be visible pag katulad nito.
Pwede man sa blue, Father.
Pwede din siya blue, yes. Usually blue and green, magenta. Pero kung tahay na kay laing hapin, no, pwede ba kulay pwede man pero para mas nindot gyud ang pag-chroma key kaning green screen gyud ang atong gamit. So wala gyud siya. Sige. Okay. So let's try to create another scene. This time let's create a scene where we could incorporate parang our PowerPoint slide. Okay? So, gawa po tayo ulit ng isang scene. Use the plus sign here. Tanggalin ko na nga muna. Teka, tanggalin ko lang po sarili ko dito kay daga na kayag ako na. Okay. So, here. Teka lang po. Wait, chat box. Okay. All right. So, let's create another scene. Click on the plus sign. Okay. And then let's say main with slides ang ating title ng scene. Okay, and then I click OK. So we have an empty scene at this point. So ang gawin natin po is add another source. So click on add source. Una, piliin muna natin yung ating video capture kanina. So click on video capture device. Tapos kung kanina nandyan na yung webcam na pinili natin, instead of creating a new video capture device, gamitin lang natin add existing. And then click on webcam. And then click on OK. So nandyan na po, meron na tayo. Mamaya na natin i-arrange siya. So the next thing that we need to do is to add another screen. This time, ang gamitin natin halimbawa, kunyari meron tayong ibang display. Kunyari meron tayong open application. In this case, na-open ko na halimbawa yung aking Keynote. Okay. So, sorry. Okay. Ano ko po wait lang. Okay. So, okay. Ano ba yan? Okay. So, ang add natin ulit, ang i-add po natin ulit is click on plus dito sa sources. So, nandyan yung webcam. Click plus. And then, ang gamitin natin, display capture. Display capture. Yung display capture allows us to capture, kunyari may dalawang screen tayo sa ating computer. We can capture one screen or the other screen. So, this is an example that we have. No? Click on display capture. So, kung marami kang screens, makita natin yan. 1, 2. So, ayan yung mga sample ko po. Okay. And then just click depende on the display that you want to show on the screen. Now, most likely, what we will be working with is that we will just be having one screen. No? So, paano po ngayon kung kunyari isa lang yung screen natin? No? I-delete natin muna yung display capture. Ang best implementation nito, if you're trying to record, is to click on plus, and then ang gamitin po natin is window capture instead of display capture. So click on window capture, and then I place, for example, Keynote. I click OK. And then dito, hanapin na natin dito kung nasaan yung Keynote natin na gusto nating mag-display. So in this case, ito yung nakabukas ko na file. Itong Keynote Course Dev, yan po yung application na nakabukas ngayon which contains my slides. I will click on it and then I will click OK. So as you can see, nandyan na po yung aking slides. Ito, yung slide ko. Nandyan din yung aking mukha. Okay? So, take for example, gusto ko na parang nandyan yung mukha ko tsaka nandyan yung slides ko next to me. So, all I have to do is arrange it in such a way na halimbawa nandyan yung mukha ko, and then I could adjust this. I could click on, if you have a Mac keyboard, option and then adjust it that way. And then I will put it here. And then I will just increase it a little bit. Now notice, nagka-clog siya. So i-adjust ko ulit option and then I will click on it and drag it para mag-adjust. And there you have it. No? Yan, ready na siya. So pag i-transition ko siya, it will look like this. No? So I'm talking and then nandyan po yung aking slide. No? And then I can transition to my original scene. pwedeng ganyan, no? Yung kanina, so I could record myself explaining, tapos kung kailangan ko na mag-transition to the scene na merong slide, I can just highlight it doon sa scenes and then click on transition and it will look like this. Okay. Sige po. Are we still able to follow?
Father, ma-replay man tong sa YouTube, no?
Ma-replay man siya sa YouTube. Right?
Sige, Father.
So, yun po, yung sample natin ito, no? Where you can have this, no? So this is just one implementation that you have, no? Pwede din, kunyari, i-arrange ko pa siya. Sabihin ko, I want this kind of setup, pero gusto ko ibahin pa siya para mas, I will focus, for example, on the slides, no? So what I will do is, balik po ako dito sa screen kanina. Okay. Then spotlight mo na for everyone. Okay. So what I will do now is I will duplicate itong scene na to na merong slide. So I click on right click and then choose duplicate. And then I will rename it name with slides, main with slides 2. So ayan yung panibago niya. And then this duplicate copy of this original slide, pwede ko siyang baguhin ulit ang arrangement. Let's say I will focus on making this as the highlight, no? So i-adjust ko lang siya ulit, shift. Tapos I will click on right click, transform fit to screen. And then notice nawala ako, no? So pag nawala ka, i-click and drag mo lang siya, balik ka dun sa sources, ilagay mo po siya dun sa pinakataas para siya yung mag-appear doon sa taas na side. Okay? So katulad po nito. And then I will adjust it again, option, and then adjust it. And then let's say I will minimize it. Uy, sobrang minimize. Ano ba yan? Ayan. Para, kunyari, gusto ko ganito ang klase ng presentation ko. Okay. Ayan po. And then if I click on it, so let's say, so now I have this new scene. If I transition and I keep on talking and I will use another scene, so I can keep on talking and say I want to focus on myself when I'm, parang I want to highlight my expressions when I'm explaining. I will just click the previous scene that we made. And then I will transition again to the part where it's only my face. And tapos balik na naman ako doon if I want to emphasize the slide. Okay. Want to emphasize this. Ayan, ganyan. So, yun po yung yun po yung what can be done with OBS, no? So it's just a matter of building those scenes, tapos choosing yung naka-open na application natin, no? So piliin natin yung Windows source, as you can see here, no? Ito po yung Windows source. So if I want to not show it, no? To hide it, all I have to do is click on itong button na merong mata para mawala. So I can have something like this, no? Balik siya, ganito lang ako, no? Pero balik ulit sa dati, kung gusto ko siya ibalik na naman, I'll just show it again like this. So most of it laro-laro lang po, no? Kung gusto nating gawin na parang circle yung ating circle, halimbawa ito, pwedeng gawin. Kung triangle, pwedeng gawin. Depende, it all depends on your creativity in terms of how you'd like it to be, no? So in this case, pwede ko siya halimbawa ipalakihin ko siya ng konti while I'm explaining. Lagay ko siya, gusto ko sa gitna. Okay, something like this. Ayan. So yeah, so you'll have something like this when you're explaining. So balik ko na naman siya sa dati. No? So I can create as much as, I think, 24 scenes ang pwede mong i-create. And then you could just transition it depending on how you would want your presentations to look. Okay, so my question po. Father, as ID, we are to share this to our course development team or we are to do this for the course? It's kung pwede po na we could share this, no, with the course development team, no, and if you want to do it for your own course, no, you can also do it. Parang it's an additional skill or tool that we can use, no. But hopefully, yun nga, for us as IDs, if we could cascade parang what we're learning para mas marami pang pwedeng matutunan yung ibang mga colleagues natin in terms of how they could make use of these tools to improve their content or at least their online teaching. Okay, so my question ulit, how do I insert my keynote presentation again? So ulitin ko po ulit how to do it, no? So what we have here, what we did was una, I'll create another scene, for example. Okay, scene 2. So, and then I will add a video capture device. Since kanina na-add na natin yung webcam, let's just add the webcam. It's here. Now, I will add another presentation. Make sure that the presentation that you have has already been opened, no? Na-load na siya kaagad. So that pag mag-add po tayo ng slides natin, all we have to do is click on plus and then look at window capture. And then from window capture, lagay natin dyan pangalan ng slides na ginamit natin. And then, it's already in use. Maybe I'll try Keynote 2. Okay. And then from the window, I will choose saan dito yung pangalan ng presentation na inopen ko na. So in this case, itong na-open ko, marami po dyan na pwede mong i-flash eh. Pero hanapin natin yung PowerPoint or kung Loom gusto natin, or in this case, yung Keynote, yung aking slide. Click ko yan. Mas makikita po natin on screen if you've chosen the window correctly. And then I'll just click OK. And then from then on, parang I can just arrange it, no, like this, no. So pwedeng ganyan siya. I can arrange it. So kung gusto ko halimbawa na ako na naman yung focus, katulad dito, I'll right click and then transform fit to screen. And then yung Keynote ko, gusto ko na parang katulad yung parang nag-report, no. So I can do something like this, and then I could adjust. So click option, I'll just adjust this. And then palakihin ko siya ng konti. So I could move myself this way so that yan, parang pwede ganyan yung aking presentation. Okay. Okay. Fem, pwede ka mag-share screen para makita natin yung yung what you are seeing there para mas ma-diagnose natin ng mas mabuti. Okay. Ayan po. So, walang nakalagay na okay. Fem, pwede mo i-cancel tapos tingnan natin kung nakalagay siya doon sa kung naka-open yung keynote presentation. Kasi kung hindi siya nakalagay doon, baka hindi talaga siya naka-open. Typically, when you use window capture, all the open applications, okay, naka-open. Pwede screen share mo para makita natin ulit. So si Femi is asking kasi hindi daw niya makita yung option for keynote presentation sa kanyang window capture. Fem, pwede ka mag-screen share ulit? Okay. Let me show you parang what I have in my screen po. So here's the part where this is where my screen is open, yung aking Windows presentation nandyan po dito. Yung keynote presentation ko. Naka-open siya like this. Kailangan po i-click natin play and then play slideshow in window. So para lumabas ng ganito kung if you're using Keynote. And then from there, balik po tayo doon sa ano natin, balik tayo doon sa ating OBS. And then go back to the scene again and add window capture. And then hanapin natin ulit yung window na yun na open. So ganito po dapat ang lalabas. Makita natin kung Keynote and then the slides that is showing. Okay. Nar, baka gusto mo i-flash siya, Nar, para makita natin parang and we could concretely address yung issue ng ano.
Makita rin mo, Father.
Okay. So at this point, yung sa main mo with slides, pwede i-kuan mo, pwede what do you call this? Pwede ba look at your sources, para maraming naka-open na Windows capture, i-delete muna natin yung ibang window capture. So highlight yung window capture. Okay. Using yung negative, yung minus sign. So highlight natin yon and then click minus sign para ma-delete. Okay, yes po. Delete. Sige pa, Windows. Okay. And then yung isang webcam, delete din natin kasi dalawa na. Okay. Highlight muna yung webcam. Yan. Okay. So let's try it. Kung naka-open na yung keynote presentation mo kanina, click on plus dun sa sources. Plus. And then window capture, tingnan natin. Ay, hindi ko makita yung window capture. May kwan ba siya? May sorry. May hindi lumalabas yung keynote presentation?
Wala.
Okay.
Kwan, Father, kaning add existing lang na keynote.
Pwede mo i-minimize yung OBS mo muna tapos tingnan natin yung iyong desktop lang if that's okay para makita natin kung nakalabas talaga. Kasi dapat hindi siya naka-minimize. Kaya kung naka-minimize yung keynote presentation mo, hindi man niya ma-detect as a window. So i-minimize natin for example yung OBS Studio.
Naka-ano na, Father?
Makita ko pa yung OBS Studio. Minimize nato siya. Wala pa man.
Yan na lang sa ni Father. Father, hindi na lang sa mali kayo, di kayo gagakuan.
Okay. Sige lang. Kung ang kuanar, make sure kung makabalik ka dito sa imong desktop, murag i-open jud nimo siya, dili lang siya dapat naka-minimize dito sa kuan niya, sa katong sa ubos, no? Kay most likely kung kunyari nakaganyan lang po siya tapos hindi siya talaga naka-open, hindi siya ma-detect ng window capture. kailangan talaga maglabas yung window itself para ma-detect siya as a window. So in this case, katulad yan, kalabas po dapat talaga. No? So if I were to, once again, parang detect it, balikan ko ulit. So as you can see, parang my slide is open. Okay. I hope you're seeing this. My slide is open, and then I click plus, window capture, and then create new, and then ito po, andyan po siya, lumalabas yung Keynote. And then I click it, okay. So nandyan na ulit yung Keynote presentation ko. So, ayan siya kanina, lumalabas na siya dun sa OBS ko. If I play share, play slideshow in window, so it will look like this. Lalabas na yung kanina na slideshow presentation ko po dito. Okay. Sige, Femi, sige, please share your screen. Okay. Sige, Fem, naka-share ka ng display, no? And then what's behind it, is that the Keynote presentation that you have sa likod? Okay. Sige, click window capture. Click on window. Scroll down pa natin. Hindi siya maglabas. Scroll down. Sige. Pwede mo, sorry, just click cancel first. Fem, pwede mo i-click ulit yung iyong presentation sa likod. Okay. And that is already in Keynote, no? Okay. Sige, tenets to you, 1,000 tenets of Christianity. Sige daw, balik po natin ulit sa if it's already open, balik tayo sa OBS. Plus window capture. Okay. Wala na talagang, walang umaano, no? Can you try clicking on show windows with empty names? Ayan. Try natin. Keynote null. Try natin yung Keynote null. Wala pa rin lumalabas. Pwede i-click mo ulit yung Keynote presentation mo, tapos i-take it out of the presentation mode. And yung parang basic setup. Sige, X naman, tapos let's open. Okay, something like that. Okay, so just let it be like that, and then try natin ulit. Go to window capture.
Window capture.
Okay. And click. Oh.
Wala pa rin siya, Father.
That's strange.
Yeah. I think
Sige.
same nga kami ng problem ni Lunar.
Okay. Sige, I'll try to look for anong problem nun, and then
Okay, thank you po, Father.
kung paano. Thank you. So first time ko may encounter na hindi siya magkuan. Hindi siya maglabas.
Thank you po, Father.
Father, ako hindi na ko kita na kung naong.
Hindi mo kita yung sige daw, pwede mo i-share yung screen mo, Roy?
Okay, well, Father. Ayan, yan na yung paano ipatong yung mukha ko dito?
Ayan, kasi at this point yung window capture, okay. I-click mo muna yung transition.
Okay.
So ngayon ang makita natin just the slides, no? So go back again to balik natin siya doon sa main with slides. Click on the scene main with slides.
Main at saka sandali, Father, ha?
Training.
Main with slides. Saan niya
Main
makikita,
slides.
Father?
Yun dito sa left, yung sa scenes
Ito.
mo.
Ito. Okay.
So ngayon, pwede mo i-highlight itong video capture device 2.
Check up device to, yes. Yan, Father.
Okay. Mukhang hindi niya na-detect itong kan. Pwede mo i-delete siya tapos mag-add tayo ulit ng video capture.
Sige po.
Add.
Video capture
And
device.
then video capture device. And then add existing tapos video capture device 1 lang. Yung isa. Yung first one.
Ito.
Yes.
Okay. Yun.
Okay. So yan. Okay?
Okay.
Ayan na.
Okay, Father.
Okay. Right.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Sige, stop
So,
sharing ako, Father.
Yung kay Femi tsaka kay Lunar mukhang yung may problem. Yung isang alternative siguro niyan, Windows capture device. Hindi ata maganda pag display capture ang gamitin natin. Sige, hanapin ko na lang kung bakit may error na gano'n na hindi nagalabas ang window capture. Sige.
Salamat
So,
po, Father.
sige po. So at this point, I think parang it's almost close to 5. Yung nagawa pa lang po natin is yung creating screencast, and right now yung creating video lessons with the slides, no. We haven't explored yet much of the possibilities that OBS can offer, kasi within OBS pwede tayo mag-insert ng video so that hindi mo na kailangan mag-click outside, no? Pwede na nating ipakita agad yung video dito. Pwede din natin lagyan ng background music na kaagad yung ating while we're lecturing. So yun yung mga ibang ways na pwede pang i-maximize yung use ng OBS. So yun, hanggang doon lang po muna siguro yung ating yung the other part wherein we could turn the recordings that we make through OBS into more interactive videos. Maybe we could do that in another session, no? So halimbawa katulad nito, pag in-upload na natin to halimbawa sa Moodle, pwede na natin pong lagyan to ng mga may mag-pop up, tapos pwede ka na magbigay ng quiz or formative assessment habang nagasalita ka dito, no? So that's the way to turn it into more engaging and interactive na content. Now, ang question, si Ryan has asked, paano pag-reduce ng file size? So that's a good question kasi usually dahil malaki yung settings na ginagamit natin dito sa OBS, sobrang laki siyang hirap siya i-upload through Moodle. So this is what I actually do with my recordings. Kung meron po tayong YouTube account, it would be best to create a YouTube account. Tapos punta tayo, gawin natin gawa tayo ng yung YouTube Studio na account. Mag-sign in lang po tayo sa YouTube using our own settings. What I do is I basically just upload the videos that I've recorded through OBS, tapos ina-upload ko siya dito. And then after uploading, for example, this part, no, ito mahabang-mahaba ito na recording and malaki, mga 2-3 gigabytes. Once it's there, what we can do is really pag nasa YouTube na po siya, pwede na natin siyang i-download ulit. No? So in this case, ayan po. Pag may YouTube Studio tayo, yung in-upload natin na video na napakalaking file, pag in-upload natin sa YouTube, it will compress it very efficiently. And once it's compressed, pag natapos na yung processing ng YouTube, all we have to do is options and then download it back. And then you will see a 3 gigabyte will end up just as a 140 megabyte file. No? So kung kunyari 10 minutes na video lang yan, parang you can actually have mga 15 MB or less na video na compression, especially pag in-upload natin sa YouTube and then i-download natin siya ulit from YouTube. Okay. May question pa po. Father, how many minutes po yung max na ma-record here? Sa OBS po, ang maximum na recording time natin for OBS is actually depende sa file size. Yung sa you can record, the longest that I've recorded mga 4 hours kasi nakalimutan ko patayin. So 4 hours of video, pero napakalaking file na yun, no? And kung live stream, anong maximum? As long as you want to. Usually, if I may just show you, parang these are examples of me using using OBS. Sandali pa. Okay. Sandali pa. Using yung video live stream. So yung setting po na sinabi ko kanina for streaming tsaka sa recording, if you just use those settings, parang at least when I'm streaming from dito using Adonet Wi-Fi, kayang-kaya po siya. Wala siyang problema in terms of recording. So ito halimbawa, these were all done live stream using OBS, no? So here's a sample of what I have here. So from the start, merong ayan. Tapos what I place, my ticker tape of what the topic is. And then once I start the lecture, ayan po.
Sir Albert, audible ba yung aking audio dyan?
And then it's me parang using again slides
into part-time or has to, parang do ad.
So yun po, maximum nun. Kung uploaded sa YouTube, depende sa settings natin yung. No? What I do is parang I unlist it sa YouTube and just make it available for my students. No? So ngayon, kung i-kukuhan po natin siya sa Moodle, what we can do is, if you've uploaded it, we can take the link tapos insert it into Moodle as well. That's why yung third part sana of making the videos interactive will show you how we could use YouTube videos and make it more interactive in Moodle. No? So yun usually ang pwede natin gawin po doon. So yes, there is a setting to make it available for students only. Sige po. It's already 4:58 or 4:59 na pala, no? Maybe we'll end muna at this point, and maybe unless there are other questions muna at this moment, I don't know, maybe would it be possible to would it be okay kung if we have another session tapos we can continue yung ating itong parang what we're doing, learning itong mga online instructional tools? Sige po. What would be a convenient time for everyone po? There's Thursday. So far my Thursday is okay pa naman po yung aking Thursday. We can have it at around the same time, 3 p.m. So we could do the part where we could make the videos that we've recorded and turn it into interactive videos similar to what you would find sa mga ibang courseware. Sige po. So I will send an invitation again for this Thursday at 3 p.m. Siguro we'll just take the same time, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. And then we will discuss all the other things that we could use with OBS, and then let's use what we have recorded through OBS and then upload it through the Diagler account, and then we will use H5P to turn it into an interactive content. Si Roy isn't available, but we will just live stream this on YouTube so that pwede nyo po pong ma-view ulit yung what we are doing at this point. Sige po. Thank you very much for your patience. Thank you for your interest in parang learning how we could make the most out of this situation we're in. And hopefully we can share this also with our co-faculty. We could share it with his colleagues. So the more that people know about how to do this, parang I think it will be better for all of us.
Salamat, Pad.
Thank you po. Bye-bye. I hope you learned something this afternoon.
Thank you, Father.
Salamat,
Salamat.
Father.
Thanks,
Thank you po.
Father.
Thank you, Father. Thank you.
Thank you po. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Thank you. Thank you po.